Previously on Describe Your Kill.
So my character is called Aaron Spokepoint.
His name is Wilhelm Krongard.
They belong to a gentleman by the name of Lupin Malice.
You are looking at Malachi Bordello.
Awkward introductions.
Evening.
Hello.
Fine weather.
Well, yes, I suppose so.
How are you, gentlemen? Would you like me to read your future?
And combat soon began. For the first time on the Stolen Fate adventure path, roll for initiative!
Hey everyone, this is Matty, otherwise known as Aaron Spokepoint, aka Aaron the Ashen. First of all, we have to say a huge amount of thanks to everyone that has listened and supported so far. We've been absolutely staggered by the amount of listens and feedback that we've received after just a single episode. The power and passion of people in the TTRPG communities is astounding, and we're so grateful. For all the positive and invaluable constructive feedback, we welcome it all. If you're not already, please subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts, and if you can leave us a quick rating, it will help us out enormously. You can also find us across the social stratosphere, including a new Discord that we launched this week. For all the links, head over to describeyourkill.com. Anyway, over to Craig to start the show for real. Enjoy episode 2, Here Today, Gone Tomorrow.
Hello and welcome back to episode 2 of The Death of Destiny, our actual play of Stolen Fate Adventure Path. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hello.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning.
It's not actually good evening. Again, we are usually playing in the evening, but today is a glorious day in sunny Norfolk. Episode 1 done, in the can.
Woo. Yep.
No, and we managed to scrape through. Somehow.
Just about.
How are we all feeling?
Pumped.
Yeah.
What's it called when you had a near-death experience and are still recovering?
Near death. You were certainly near iron. From that nasty creature, you were one fail away from being permanently petrified.
Super.
Nasty.
I know what I'm buying when I get to the shop.
Taking our first tentative steps. Matty, what are you going to say?
I was going to say, here we are at the shop.
Here you are at the shop, yeah. So rather than spend too long recapping, you have your shared vision. We meet our characters, who then all end up at very similar timing, convenient, at 3 moves ahead, located in a quieter section of the Grand Bazaar. As our characters meet, they have their first tentative conversations. Wilhelm reveals that he's quite into his tarot readings and gives Malachi one for himself, revealing not only the same card, the brass dwarf that he holds, but also something tied to creativity and the arts. You eventually decide, right, we need to go in this building. Let's get in there. Malachi knocks several times, sings at the door, causing whatever was in there to stay quiet. Eventually, Wilhelm slams open the door, revealing the room you are now stood in. I'll read you the flavor text. The shop consists of a single wide room. A few shelves hold dice games and card decks, while private gaming rooms to the west sit beyond open curtains. Chalk lines cover the floor of the room, some of them smeared beneath the body and blood of a dead Varisian woman. You, of course, also encountered the 2 nasty beasts, the Bony M and the Horny Devil, the Ram's Head. Wilhelm managed to escape being petrified, of course, and Lupin, at the end of the combat, to finish it, pulls out a pistol to completely eviscerate the Bone Devil. Any questions?
It's pretty clear.
Then you are out of combat.
Lupin just looks somewhat self-satisfied and just reaches down and picks up his sword cane, resheathes it.
The flickering of Aaron kind of phasing in and out of reality comes to an abrupt halt, and he falls to his knees, catching his breath. Is it defeated?
Well and truly, my boy.
Oh my god, this woman, is she okay? He runs over to her and tries to feel any sign of life.
Roll a medicine check.
Say 13 for a 28.
She is very, very dead.
Have any of you seen a creature like that before?
Which one?
Both of them, to be fair.
Never in the, I suppose flesh is the wrong word, but never in person. I've read and I've heard of such creatures. It's my first time killing them, and hopefully the last.
Would my specific lore check, a question for the DM, also apply to this bony thing?
Your lore check?
My fiendish lore.
Oh, I see what you mean. You want to roll a specific check, yeah?
If it's
recall knowledge.
If it can be applied, I would like to use my fiendish lore.
I think it might be able to be applied, considering that both these creatures are fiends.
And I would like to make that lore check.
So this is a recall knowledge, is that right?
Yeah, but instead of rolling, I would like to use my assurance skill feat.
Okay.
And gain an automatic 27 as a result.
That is enough for the larger bony creature. It is known as an Oceloth, a bone devil.
The smaller one, could that also be...
Your check wouldn't be sufficient to... You don't know what that is with your assurance.
All right. Can I still roll for it, or would that be kind of...
Yeah, I guess you could roll for it.
All right, then. That's 32.
DC 32.
Nice.
Ooh.
It's a creature known as a Ferragon, or a Rust Devil.
Wilhelm, for the first time after the combat ended, sort of speaks up and says, I have read about both of these creatures. I have fought one similar to the small one before, but not exactly this one. I thought I knew what this was, but it was stronger than the one I fought before. It caught me off guard. I apologize.
Well, we got rid of him, so it's... I think I can let it go there.
So yes, I had it all in hand. It's all good. And Lupin sort of takes a look at the gash on his arm from where the bone devil struck him with the tail.
Does anyone know how to perform medicine? I'm quite badly hurt.
Afraid it's a bit of a closed book to me, my boy.
I mean, I've got some healing potions if you want some.
No,
or I can soothe you to sleep with my dirgy sound. It's up to you what you want me to do.
I've seen what your dirge can do.
What do you want? Do you want a drink, or do you want a?
I'll take the
song?
potion.
What do you
Yeah, I'll
want?
take the potion. Thank you. I've seen what your dirge can do, and I've heard quite enough. Thank you.
So we have no one who's actually trained in medicine.
I think Aaron might be, but
I
don't know.
am, but I couldn't afford any healer's tools.
That's fine.
Fuck.
We can resolve that.
Aren't they 5 gold?
Yeah. Oh no, I can afford them. Then I have 8 gold.
I think it's the plus. It's the it's the +1 ones, which are quite expensive. They're like 50 gold or something.
I mean, I'll have a go because I'm untrained improvised in it, but I don't think you can do that. I think you've got to be trained in it.
I think it has to be a trained...
It's an
proficiency for
action.
that,
Yeah, it's a trained action.
We need some tools.
Well, maybe when we go shopping.
Yes, I know a guy. I can find you some. I just need just an opportunity to go and meet him. But I suspect we perhaps have rather more urgent matters right now.
Well, it seems a bit coincidental that we all had a dream, and then there's these.
I didn't have a dream.
Yeah, I also never said I had a dream.
Yeah, we're quite the suppositionist, aren't we, sir?
So you're saying it was only me and Malachi that had dreams? Is that what you're saying?
Fess up, you had a dream too, didn't you? It's a bit coincidental, don't you think?
I dare say, before we start unraveling the finer vagaries of coincidence in the universe, we might do well to make ourselves scarce, or at least to investigate what appears to have been happening here. And Lupin sort of nudges idly at the chalk outlines on the floor in front of him.
Looks like a slug.
I would like to investigate those, please.
Sure, yeah, you notice these chalk lines on the floor, somewhat smeared and disturbed by the copious blood and footprints that have now walked through them. Go ahead and give me a secret perception check.
Yep.
Aaron, you think that these might be some kind of rough map, but you are all not really sure. Aaron's closest to kind of seeing, but with all the destruction and blood there, it's not particularly clear.
I have the dubious knowledge feat. So when I fail but don't critically fail a recall knowledge check using any skill, I mean, it's not a skill, it was a perception, but his dubious knowledge would let me learn one bit of true and one bit of false knowledge, but I don't know which is which.
Yeah, that'd
just in case that applies.
Yeah, so that's more for recall knowledge. This is more trying to make sense, I think, of what you're seeing.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it's enough to know it's a map. Does anybody have society?
Yes, I'm trained in society.
Okay, give us a society roll. That can be open.
Yep, that is a natural 20.
Woohoo!
Good enough. And Aaron, you're also studying these chalk lines. No matter the destruction and the blood, whatever's being drawn here is clearly a map of Absalom. And Lupin, with that nat 20, you can kind of see that there appear to be like arrows and markers sort of indicating routes of some kind within the Grand Bazaar. You see 3 points of interest sort of highlighted in chalk circles. And you also see footsteps or markers indicating the arrival of 4, I guess what you'd call them, pawns on a map, sort of markings to indicate people. There are several things marked there. But with your nat 20, you see that the movements of these characters would tie very well into the directions that you 4 approached 3 moves ahead.
Lupin is going to keep that last piece to himself. He's not going to say anything at this stage on that, but he will say, "This appears to be a map of Absalom. As you can see here, and there's points. You can see the Grand Bazaar. This is troubling."
You would notice that the 3 main points of interest, without any real context there. And Lupin, have you spent much time in Absalom? You've spent time in the Grand Bazaar?
Yes, I feel like it would be. I mean, he is a traveller, but Absalom is obviously the biggest population centre in the area, and as a merchant, which Lupin is, he would certainly have spent plenty of time there.
Using your, again, rolling over that nat 20, it looks like 3 different shops are marked. One is Historia God, this is a tough word. Historia Reliquary, Kraken's Ink Tattoo, and Reclaimed Paradise.
As I have mercantile law, would I be able to use that to identify what any of those are?
Yeah, go ahead. I like it.
Okay. Natural 7 for a 20 overall.
That's good enough. So Historia Reliquary is a store that's run by a lizard folk anthropologist called Erikanesh. They're known for having antiques, old items, historic documents, that kind of thing.
Lupin spends about 60% of his time in Absalom there. He's bearing in mind his record is he would 100% know that, and he knows that place inside out.
Second one is Kraken's Ink Tattoo. This is run by a human man whose name is Arhan Benimaya. He is a famous tattoo artist. And the third location, Reclaimed Paradise, is a kind of scrapyard in the Grand Bazaar. It's run by an orc called Clemeth Falk, female.
Okay, that's... I suspect Lupin would probably know that one quite well as well, but maybe not quite as well as the reliquary, but
potentially.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, he will share that information with the group.
So this all seems to be revolving around you then?
Doesn't everything, my dear boy? I wouldn't say that much, but it certainly focuses around these shops, and I know at least two of them. Is the third I've been past, but it may not surprise you to know I'm not a regular customer.
This tattoo shop you spoke of.
Yes.
Do you know whether they sell only regular tattoos or some of the more occult type?
Again, not my particular area of expertise, but perhaps we could. I dare say we may not wish to spend too long lurking in this particular locale. Might do well to examine our surroundings and leave. I'll certainly be heading to the tattoo shop shortly to all three shops shortly to ask a few questions. Welcome to join me, Lupin. By the way, Lupin Malus.
Now your token can expand.
Ah, right. I wondered what your name was.
Yes, phenomenal. Had you guessed?
I thought you already told us your name, but I just forgot. It's good to know that you didn't.
Before we go, it seems like this is a game shop. I quite fancy a couple of games.
There's a literal corpse on the floor.
There's some games. Come on.
And you want to play Catan?
Yeah. And he has a cursory browse around before we leave.
Lupin will take a wander over to the Rust Devil, and we'll have a search, see whether it has anything on it.
Yeah, no, nothing on the Rust Devil, I'm afraid.
That's fine.
Aaron, you sort of move over there, you see a games room, sort of playing pieces. The whole shop's quite dishevelled, and actually the tables all look like they've been pushed to the side in this room. Books and bits of paper, possessions all around. Malachi, there is a door leading to the north as well, which appears to be closed.
He knocks on the door.
There's no
answer. That went well last time.
He starts singing a song. He tries the door.
The door opens.
It's very dark in here.
Yeah, the whole place is dark. There are no windows in this wooden building.
Still see what's going on though.
Aaron casts dancing lights.
Ooh.
So he shoots a little light going forward because he can't see in the dark.
Okay, I've put a light in there.
Where did you come from, Aaron?
He steps forward.
Wait,
Look at
that's
all
my
this
room.
stuff.
Yeah, you step into what appears to be an office. It's a mess. There's piles of paperwork, incomplete games covering every surface. A messy cot indicates that someone's been sleeping here for the past few days. As you both step into the room, this like mental pull in your heads flares up again, similar to that feeling of the dream you had not so long ago. You immediately feel that there is an object of great power in this room.
Aaron casts Detect Magic.
There is a very strong sense of magic coming from the bookcase in the northwest corner.
Hey! What are you doing?
There's something very
This
powerful
is my
here.
room. I'm supposed to be looting it.
Okay, well, you can help. You can help search the bookshelf.
What you found?
I detect something. Oh, for God.
Oh, right, okay.
Would you help me, please? And I start rooting through the bookshelf.
Malachi's just hindering. Everything,
You fucker.
everything that Aaron tries to like touch, Malachi touches to like, it's mine.
So you dig through the bookcase and rather suspiciously at the back of the bookcase appears to be some kind of ledger. Pieces of paper sticking out in all angles.
Can you read, Aaron?
Yes, I can. I pull it out and open it up.
You open this ledger and the start of it reveals the name of the shop 3 moves ahead. Underneath is a line that says proprietor, and the name there is Hajek. Hajeck. Reading through the ledger, you can see that there's a lot of scribblings and suspicions and notes. Some of these refer to Harrow cards and Harrow decks. The question, what does it mean? Why do I have this? Are written. Scrolling through to the last few pages, a single Harrow card slips out of the ledger and onto the floor at your feet.
Before Malachi can grab it,
No.
Aaron picks it up.
Rollies.
Do you both reach for it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be, let's do acrobatics, highest roll wins. We've got a roll off!
Natural 2.
Yeah.
Aaron reaches
mine.
down for the card, but Malachi's hands are quicker and manages to snatch the card from his grasp.
Well, look what I found.
All right, well, do you tell us what it is then?
What's it say, DM?
The second you pick up the card, again, this mental pull, this sensation of swirling thoughts, of unseen faces fills your mind. You have found another card from whatever this deck is. This card is called the Vision.
Ooh.
Malachi is visibly excited at this. It's like a new Pokemon card. Like another shiny.
So the Vision is from the book suit, which is the intelligence side of the deck. The Vision represents arcane knowledge. As long as you have the Vision invested, it grants you a +2 item bonus to all checks made to identify magic. And once per day as a free action, you can envision an invisible bolt of blue energy bursts from your head. Attempt to recall knowledge about a subject, rolling the check with the most appropriate lore skill. This check always resolves as if you were master in the most appropriate lore skill to recall knowledge on the subject.
Very cool.
Aaron, do you want to do a deal?
Seeing that it's an arcane rooted card, he says, no, have it. I want nothing to do with that. And he slinks off.
What is Wilhelm doing?
Standing in the doorway, keeping watch. As Aaron comes closer to exit the room, Wilhelm sort of stands to the side and stiffens up and keeps a lookout for any disturbances in the other room.
Don't you think, Aaron, that that monster in there was like trying to get hold of this card possibly? I mean, that place is ransacked. You've got to be in there for some reason.
Probably. I'm just trying to make sense of all of this. I know as much as you do, but you got the card, so have it.
Within the ledger as well, Aaron, you were looking at this, weren't you?
Yep.
You see that there's a few scribblings about the card, that it clearly came into Hajeck's possession. She's noted that it's the chaotic neutral card of intelligence, as I said, and that it represents abstruse knowledge, sudden insight, or instability. Also, though, are markings that she suspected that more cards from whatever this deck is must be somewhere out there in the world. She recognized that this was no mere regular Harrow card. This card has great power. The abilities alone, these are not regular abilities for Harrow cards. She has also noted in the ledger that one Diral Merniz, owner of the Harrow Barrow, might know more. And next to the name Diral are the names Erikanesh, Arhan, and Clemeth, which were the names of the owners of the 3 shops on the map. If you're in the room, roll me a perception check.
25.
Wow, some really good perception checks. You also, amongst the papers, spot 4 magical scrolls. One is a level 2 scroll of Quench, it's your first loot. A level 6 scroll of Heroism. A level 6 scroll of Slow, that's burned up and unusable. And a level 5 scroll of Telepathic Bond. They are in the loot chest.
Any scrolls that
I find all of this.
any scrolls that you guys can't cast Lupin will be able to. So,
Okay,
Where is
fine.
Lupin? He seems to be notably absent.
yes, Lupin is. He can hear the squabbling and Malachi's incredible insight in the other room. He's studying this map quite closely. The map has thrown him somewhat.
Roll perception for me, Lupin, whilst you're having a look at all that again.
It's a natural 15 for 35.
That's a good roll. That's a good roll. You don't really notice anything new on the map other than, there's these clear movements of people marked on there, as clear as they can be. But what you also notice is that the woman Hajek's, assumedly, body, you notice that her arm bears a very recent tattoo that looks like an architect being struck by lightning. That is an image often associated with the Vision.
Interesting.
Do you relay that to us?
Not yet, because he's presumably you guys will come back into the room waving the card, at which point obviously Malachi will see that and will make the connection. Not Malachi, sorry, Lupin. Sorry. Yeah.
Let's be honest, it's gonna be Malachi that makes the connection, whether we want it or not.
There's a scroll of Quench here that you can take.
I will. I'll just come through and.
I've given that to you, chap.
Oh, cool, thank you.
So you find another one of these very powerful Harrow cards in Hajek's possession, but she now lays dead, as do 2 devils. What do you do?
Look, I got this card.
Wait. Don't show me the card.
Oh,
It's
okay.
It's the Vision, isn't it?
Yeah. How do you know?
Lupin steps over to the body and lifts the arm.
Oh, yeah. All very strange.
Is this Habjek then?
It would. I've never met the lady, but it would appear a reasonable deduction to assume that. Yes.
So these things are on a rampage. Are they?
I mean, that may be a leap too far at this particular stage, but I would certainly suggest that our possession of some very similar cards has perhaps not significantly increased our personal safety. I'd recommend perhaps safety in numbers for the time being.
And you remember that the Bone Devil telepathically was trying to demand information regarding to the cards or the location of it.
Not on everyone, though, Craig. I keep.
No, that's true.
Didn't
Not
get
on,
me.
Yeah, no, that's
Not on
right.
everyone, so I did. It's really difficult.
Lupin
But yeah.
ignored him, and Wilhelm, also wasn't playing
But
ball.
they will have known that he was trying to find the cards.
Certainly
but
demanding
not- so I
information
wouldn't
about
know.
cards. Yeah.
Okay, so with the same look that he had when he lashed out at the smaller devil, he says, I say, if they come for us, we come for them. I am going to go on a hunt for these creatures, and I would like all of you to come with me.
No, you're all coming with me. I'm going to go and find him. Follow me, everyone.
What's Aaron doing?
Let's just let this guy go and wait a couple of days, and then we can go.
Malachi's doing himself no favours to ingratiate himself to the group. He's like, follow me.
I think Aaron is just grappling with that and the violence of what's happened here, and as we're all turning to leave, he says, it seems that this woman died simply for possessing one of these cards, just like us. Perhaps that she arrived first. She was meant to be on our journey with us, but we owe it to her to find out what happened and how we can put a rest to this madness and figure out this strange shared vision that we've all encountered.
We don't owe it to her, we owe it to us.
Yes, I was... Lupin sort of nods at Wilhelm and says, yes, indeed, I'd argue we perhaps owe it to ourselves as well to potentially avoid the same fate.
It seems that Mr. Malice knows the city really well, and I'd be willing to trust in his direction, especially if he knows some of the people mentioned.
Well, it's... and Lupin looks out the door at the figure of Malachi, dancing down the street, continuing to talk to himself, unaware that the rest of us haven't followed him. Well, yes,
While doing that, he's cast musical accompaniment as he's gone down the street as well.
Yes, well,
What the fuck is this guy?
I wasn't looking to become guide leader, but if it does all him, I suspect I'd rather it be me. Yes, unfortunately, through sheer coincidence, he does appear to have gone the right way.
I will point out to you, so if you're starting to leave the shop, is that right?
Not entirely yet, but...
Okay,
yeah,
fine.
not quite out the door yet, but yeah,
It is dark. Obviously, it's quite late now. It's probably the quietest time that the Grand Bazaar could be. A lot of places are now closed, so you've got to think about that and resting and stuff and what you want to do there.
Yeah.
Do you know somewhere that we could stay tonight, maybe?
There's... And again, he sort of looks around at the fairly ragtag nature of those staying with us. Yes, there's an inn not far from here. It's where I've been staying. It's not the cheapest, but it's not that the price isn't prohibitive. I considering your assistance in dealing with the challenges we face from these creatures, I'll put in a good word with the innkeep, and I will pay for our collective board this evening.
Oh, that's very generous of you, Mr. Malice. Thank you.
Very honourable.
Can I roll perception to see if I hear this conversation? Please.
Lupin is deliberately keeping his voice down.
Yeah, roll perception. That's good.
Oh, sorry, that's a blind one.
It's okay. No, you don't hear it.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Oh, no.
There is, so you would know, there is an inn that's not too far away that's actually still in on the outskirts of
That's where you're gigging tonight.
the Grand Bazaar. It is known as the Saucy Wench.
Yeah.
Jesus, I don't want to
God.
stay there.
2 silver pieces a night. Well, Saucy Wench, roll society.
Yep.
Yeah, you would all know that despite its name, it's one of the few permanent buildings in the Grand Bazaar, and is well known for its all-female waiting staff, but are uniformed because the staff are actually all employees of the Token Guard, which is Absalom's guards. So the owner is a lady, Kyths Finch, and but it's meant to be a relatively safe place to stay because it's run by the guard. It seems to repel the less savoury characters of the bazaar.
Yeah, Lupin will draw a torch from his pack and will head in the. Oh no! Before we leave, is everyone happy? We've searched this building. We found everything there is to find, because I suggest we won't be able to come back here for quite some time.
Yeah, you have a good look around the room, but the amount of time you've
There's
spent
nothing.
here now, you're
That's
pretty
fine.
sure you've...
Is there a spare Harrow decks, like non-magical ones, just normal Harrow decks here?
there were plenty of Harrow cards around, all scattered, yeah, but they seem to be sort of laying on the floor. Some are covered in blood. There's nothing like pristine that you can see available to take, no. Just some
Okay.
odd cards.
Lupin will notice Aaron sort of looking some of the cards as there. Don't worry, my boy. I have a few decks in my own supplies. I'll be sure to hand one over when we get to the inn.
Much obliged, thank you, sir.
All right, so Wilhelm is gonna put his hand on Aaron's shoulder, and he's gonna say, "You have saved my life today. I will not forget that. And I swear to you that under my watch, I will let no harm come to you."
Well, thank you, sir. I'm glad that I could help, but truly, I don't know what I did. It wasn't a choice of mine. I have this power. It's growing inside of me, but if it meant that it did some good and it saved your life, well, I'm grateful. And I'm glad to not be alone.
Without saying anything else, he's gonna give you a understanding nod and wait for you to go so that he can walk right behind.
Yep.
On the way out, he's gonna break off the horn of this little thing. Just take it with him.
Devil horn.
Yes.
It's like Baldur's
Nice.
Gate. You're just taking everything. Plate, spoon.
Yes.
Great. Like that.
Nice. So Wilhelm and Aaron share a moment as they're leaving 3 moves ahead. Willem breaks off the horn. The devil, Lupin waits outside patiently with Malachi. All right. What do you want to do?
Follow the responsible one.
I dare say, best plan is to find a place for the evening. I don't believe any of these will be open at this time of night, and dare say turning up spattered in blood. And what even is that, Malachi? Is that mustard?
Oh yeah, that was the sandwich I had for lunch.
Yes, well, I dare say turning up these shops covered in condiments and bodily fluids is probably not going to make the impression we're looking for. So, with that said, the tattoo parlor, at the very least, I believe is on the way to the Saucy Wench from here. So we could perhaps at least walk past.
Okay, so you leave 3 moves ahead, the dead body of Hajek still inside, with additional information and, of course, an additional Harrow card. Who took the card in the end?
I did.
Malachi has it. Okay.
So is it with that? Is it you can only have one invested? Is that right?
No, so the way
That
these work, without trying to give too much away, you can have up to 5 invested at a time, but
Okay.
they only count as 1 invested item as a group towards your limit of 10.
That's really good.
So let's have a look at the Grand Bazaar.
Oh, very colourful.
That is
Lovely.
extremely
Colourful,
colourful. Yeah.
Yes, and you'll see you are at 3 moves ahead, which is in the southwest quarter. Right here is Kraken Ink's tattoo. Here is his story. Can you see the map notes or not?
No.
Can't see any notes.
I can no.
None at all. Okay, I'll fix that for you. Here is the reliquary.
What? Did anybody else hear that?
There's a
Yeah,
motorbike, I think.
Yeah.
That's passing by you on the streets. You've seen a gun and a motorbike now.
It's a goblin with a hairdryer.
It's got a bag of food on the back in a blue bag.
Okay.
And then over here, this walled garden area on the east is the Reclaimed Paradise, artist's impression, of course. The Saucy Wench is actually here, just to the very west, so not far from where you are at all, if you wish to go and rest for the evening.
What do we think?
Yeah, I think we should go and rest. I think that's a good plan.
Cool.
Quite late in the day, isn't it? So there's no...
It is quite late, yeah. There are still stalls open, but they tend to be more sort of kebab shops, vape shops, that kind of thing. The mobile phone repair, that's still open. And
Off license.
cash for gold. Which is ironic, because gold is cash here, so...
Hey.
Boo.
Okay, are you going to rest?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
So you make your way to the Saucy Wench. There are some patrons drinking, but the atmosphere is quite restrained for a late night drinking hole. You see the staff well dressed in their uniforms, of course, all female, as I said. And one of the staff welcomes you in and offers you board for the night at 2 silver pieces per room, and asks you how many rooms you will need.
Do you not know who I am?
I'm afraid so, I don't.
Yes, you do. I'm Malachi. I've been here before.
Have you? Well, we have many guests here, sir. You are welcome to
Yes,
stay
but
with us, of course.
I'm famous around these parts.
Are you? Oh, well, hang on, let me look at you. No, it can't be. You're not Rufus Nimblethwick, are you?
He's... I think he's my arch enemy, if I'm honest.
Oh,
I'm much more famous than him. I'm level 11. He's only level 2.
he's a very talented bard.
Is he also a bit? He's not that cute though. I'm cuter.
Similar height.
Yeah, you got that, what's his name from Sesame
not
Street,
similar
Oscar
height.
vibe going on.
He's smaller than me. He's only halfling.
For the listeners, Rufus Nimblethwick was a halfling bard that I played in one of our side games.
I've got a big reputation here. I've visited here. I've got a home in every port. Just saying. Just go and talk and say, look, we need 2 rooms, maybe 3, because I'm going to be on my own. I'm going to need my own room with my own groupies. Once I tear this place down, it'll all be good.
Sir, I do appreciate that you might have a home in every port. Mechanically, that requires you spending 8 hours to locate a residence willing to provide lodging for you. So I do
Dare say it'll be
appreciate...
16 for this guy.
I do appreciate the sentiment, but the fee is the fee. If you wish to challenge it, you can take it up with the owner. She is sleeping now, but she will be here tomorrow morning.
That won't be necessary, and Lupin places 8 silver pieces. There's 4 rooms, please. And my companion here is a talented gentleman, and I'm sure he'll need his own space away from the rest of us.
Very well, sir. Thank you. And she pockets the silver and arranges for one of the other staff to show you to your rooms. They're modest, sparse, but the bed is comfortable, and you do have a pillow, which not all inns would give you. Does anyone want to do anything before they rest? Are there any conversations, or are you all retreating to your private spaces?
So before bed, Aaron starts to very quietly cast a spell, and the runes on the sleeves of his robes begin to glow as if they've been charged with a particular energy of the spell he's just cast.
Ooh.
And he then says, "If it's all right with you, I'm gonna get to bed. I'm pretty beat."
Yes, no problem. Sleep well, my boy. It's been a tough evening for all of us.
It's been a pleasure. Good night. And he goes upstairs to bed.
Wilhelm?
Wilhelm is gonna go upstairs, but instead of going to sleep, he's gonna stay up for most of the night. He's gonna sleep probably just an hour or 2. And the rest of the night he's gonna stay awake and sitting and standing at the door and keeping an ear open for any sort of disturbances.
Cool. So staying alert.
Yes.
Okay, Malachi?
Malachi will be downstairs having a beer.
Mm-hmm.
He'll go out for a smoke as well, taking his mind off of kind of what's happened today.
Sitting there with these 2 cards in his possession.
Mm.
Okay. And Lupin?
Yeah, I think Lupin returns to his room, takes the card out of his pocket and places it on the desk, which is still covered in papers and various bits and pieces from before. But he does also goes over to a trunk in the corner of the room, stuffed with all sorts of various bits and pieces, and he retrieves a harrow deck, just a fairly standard one out, and he places it on the corner of his desk and leaves it there.
Cool. So this is more like a sort of he's been staying here a while then.
Yes, so it is essentially, this is probably Lupin's routine haunt when he's in Absalom on business. He stays here.
Cool. Then you rest for the night.
Hooray.
The night passes uneventfully, and you do wake up 8 hours later, feeling refreshed. The day is new. The sounds of the Grand Bazaar are far louder than they were last night. I assume you're going to meet downstairs, have some breakfast.
Yeah, Aaron descends the stairs, sees Wilhelm and gives him a big smile and comes over and sits at his table. And he says, I hope you don't think this is too forward, but I prepared this for you. And he gives him a small bundle of root magic. Now, this might sound a bit weird, but it's a bag of my hair mixed with some spices and some other bits and pieces. But it's magical, and it will help you if you ever get into trouble.
Listen, I am very flattered, but I don't see you in that way.
No, it's not like that at all. It's just, this is to help you in battle and protect you.
Oh, okay.
It's a protective ward.
It's a magic thing.
Oh, very much so, yes. Yeah, very much so.
I understand. Okay. Thank you for that, Aaron.
Just got the mental image of some guy in like a Travelodge, like the Travelodge restaurant in the morning, just handing out bags of his hair to people.
Stood next to the breakfast buffet, bits going in the
I mean,
bacon.
we got a couple of guys in the city I live in who are known for this sort of stuff, so it's not that far out.
Oh God.
It's a German custom.
Yeah, it is.
There's no
really
surprise on Camone's face. It's like, that's perfectly normal.
Thanks, I didn't prepare my own today. No, it's...
Where is die Haare? That's what is the first question you ask at breakfast.
It's a delicacy, a local delicacy.
Yeah.
You get the impression that Aaron hasn't got particularly good social skills, and that he's always dotting his I's around, and he's probably never seen so many people in one place as in Absalom. And so, even though it's coming across a little bit clumsy, he clearly means well.
Mechanically, what is it you've done, Matt?
So this is a feat I have called Root Magic, and essentially once per day, when I do my daily preparations, I create a talisman against foul magic, and it's like a little pouch of herbs and hair and oils and stuff like that. And I can give it to an ally, and the first time that day that the ally attempts a saving throw against a spell or a haunt, they gain a +1 circumstance bonus to the roll. Or +2 if I'm an expert, which, let me just double check if I am. I'm a master of occultism, so you get a +3. No, +2.
No, +3.
Plus
if
two.
you're
+3.
Yeah, +2.
Cool.
It's
Plus
a
two.
+2. Nice.
+2.
More awkwardness from Aaron. Love it.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
It's a +1. No, it's a +2.
No, it's a +2. Sorry. I can't count.
Okay, over to you guys. The hair has been exchanged. Breakfast has been eaten.
The ritualistic hair has been exchanged.
Oh God.
You notice that Wilhelm doesn't touch his food after the bag exchange, the hair exchange.
A weird drug deal.
Yeah, very weird. You can hear Wilhelm's voice in his head just say, again, thank you, and my offer still stands.
I appreciate that, thank you.
At that point, Lupin sweeps into the room. It is wearing just the I mean, you think this map is colourful, you should see the cloak Lupin has got on. It's
Joseph.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we'll go with that one because that's a reference. Yeah, Joseph's amazing Technicolor dream cloak.
How I love my coat of many colours.
Yeah. It is loud, this cloak. So yeah, Lupin breezes in. Good morning. How are we doing this morning? It's good to see you. And sort of a hefty slap on the back of Aaron, just watches the piece of toast fly out of his mouth.
Good morning, Mr. Malice. How are you? Did you sleep well?
Yes, I slept like a log. It's amazing what, and he sort of raises his voice just a little bit. It's amazing what killing 2 demons will do for you.
Technically, they were devils.
Yes. Well said. Yes. Yes. As we and he looks at the small bag of hair that's still sat in front of him. Well, if we're giving gifts, is allow me. And he hands across the Harrow deck to Aaron.
Oh,
Thank you.
Has anyone? And I hesitate to ask this question for fear of the answer I might get. But has anyone seen Malachi?
He's not come down yet, but I imagine we'll hear him soon enough.
Do we know if he went up?
That's a very good point.
I heard him enter his room in the middle of the night, I think, but I'm not really sure. Could be some other drunk singing man.
Well, I hope he's down soon.
At this point, you don't hear him singing. He does trudge down the stairs, and when he reaches the bottom of the stairs and sees Lupin in this jacket, he goes, my eyes,
Yes.
why is it so bright in here?
Lupin leans over to Wilhelm and mutters under his breath, yes, this gives a +2 to hangover impact.
This is my sack. I will not share my sack with this bard.
If you were here last night, it would have been bloody amazing. But nah, not now. Where's the eggs? Where's the bacon?
I don't want to be intrusive, but whatever you went to your room with last night didn't sound human.
She wasn't.
She?
Oh no. I had a good time anyway.
From behind you all down the stairs, you see a 6-foot ogre with 2 heads.
Oh no!
They wave lovingly.
I'm seeing that scene from Baldur's Gate, and if you've seen it, you'll know the one I'm talking about.
I haven't yet.
Oh, okay.
Waves lovingly at Malachi. See you tomorrow, Malachi.
Oh no. Okay, bye.
Both the heads blow kisses at you.
That's honestly for you. That's quite a good catch, Malachi.
Malachi, you find some food.
What's this bag? What?
That's my bag. You can have my food if you want. And he gives his plate over to Malachi.
Is that a tens bag?
No, that's a bag of hair.
Oh, okay, good. I don't want you keeping secrets from me and all that.
I feel a bit
Why
embarrassed.
would I? It's
then-
a bag of hair.
And then grabs the food and starts eating it, like shoveling it in.
Mr. Malice, where do we need to go today?
So,
So I think we need to go. You said Malachi,
No, I said
right?
Mr. Malice.
Well, it's very close. I thought you
It's
said
very
Malachi.
close. It's not
It's
what
close
I
enough.
said.
You can still answer, Malachi.
this
I
is
thought
children's
so.
entertainment.
I thought so.
It's going to be a long campaign, this is.
Let's just get through
man.
breakfast. Let's just get through breakfast. We have a track record of struggling breakfast time.
Hey, are any of you guys hungry?
I'm gonna have to invest in some scrolls of silence.
Yeah.
It's been so long in restaurants. Not eating.
We're just gonna stop the campaign and just start an in-character food critic role
This is this is just the place to socialize, guys. This is the first time we really have time on our hands to talk.
Yes, well, the first one without a dead body in the room, anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's regards that rather unsavory matter. As pure luck would have it, is the locations we need to visit are almost in a straight line from west to east across the city. So, we could head to Kraken's Ink Tattoo first, then on to Historia Reliquary, which very well. And then finally onto reclaimed paradise on the eastern outskirts. If we don't dally and we don't spend 4 hours arguing over how much we're paying for breakfast, we could probably do most of this in a day.
As long as we are not charged 30 gold, I will not argue.
If they're charging 30 gold, you're paying for your own fucking breakfast.
So just as a reminder, obviously these maps were marked on the floor in chalk, and then also within the ledger was mention of this Diral Mernese, and that the owners of these shops might know more, and she felt that Diral might know more as to what these cards are, or possibly to their locations.
And Diral was the corpse, as it were.
No, the corpse was Hajek.
Hajek, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll just kind of refresh it. So
thank you.
In the ledger, she noted that one Diral Mernese, owner of the Harrow Barrow, might know more about these cards and their sudden appearance. And then next to that name with lines were the 3 owners of the shops.
Okay.
The Harrow Barrow?
Okay.
That's a very good name.
Yeah. I assume that isn't one that any of us would recognize and be able to locate independently.
You could roll society.
Okay. Yep. Oh, that's a natural 18. That's 31.
Natural 17 for a 28.
Yeah, pretty good rolls there. You may have heard of the Harrow Barrow. Indeed, Lupin, you may have interacted with Diral in the past, maybe not recently. He is a wandering merchant that has an obsessional fixation with the Harrow and is known for buying and selling of rare cards or decks. But his location is difficult because he is, by his very nature, a wanderer, pulling his Harrow Barrow behind him at all times.
Yes. Okay. So while we're talking about the various bits and pieces, and presumably, comparing the notes, because obviously Lupin wouldn't have seen the notes.
No, that's true.
So when he sees, presumably, say we took the notes with us. So when the piece of paper comes out and Lupin sees the mention of the Harrow Barrow, he instinctively reaches over to Aaron's Harrow deck that he gifted him, turns over the card and points, and in the bottom right corner on the back of the card says the Harrow Barrow. I've known. I say known is probably a little bit overstating things, but I've done business with Diral in the past. He's a fine gentleman. Is if perhaps not the greatest businessman. You generally like, and I say this as a traveling merchant myself, but you generally like your customers to know where you're going to be at any given time. And unfortunately, that's an aspect of the job that Diral never really got. Advertising, not really his thing. But I dare say he's a fairly distinctive fellow, and if we ask round, we can probably we can probably find him soon enough. Shall we make way?
I'm ready to leave. Yes.
Yes.
Malachi?
You've how is that mustard on you already?
Let me eat my toast.
And the toast.
You do have 2 plates. This should be enough for you.
So you finish up your breakfast and you make a plan to go and visit Kraken's Ink Tattoo.
Yes.
Tramp stamp. You make your way through the busy streets, but you don't have far to go until you do indeed arrive at Kraken's Ink. I've got a little artist's impression from the Grand Bazaar book. Can you see that?
Oh, that looks sanitary.
It's very cool, though.
It's not the fairest of artistic representations, but that's one there. And then obviously on the Grand Bazaar map, if you zoom in, you can kind of see another variation of it that has been drawn in
cool.
there. Right, let's go to the map. Push through the crowds. The bazaar is humming and thriving with activity. And Kraken's Ink Tattoo is an old business in the Docks District, but this is the shop's secondary stall in the Grand Bazaar. As you approach, you see lots of artwork of various designs of tattoos And there's a few items on the shelves, various colours and inks. And as you round the corner, you see a small female kobold busying herself and a gentle mastiff dog laying down in his basket.
How do we want to approach this?
I suppose as being upfront is probably the approach to take here. I'm not entirely sure how large a part of their business magical harrow cards are. I suspect if it's any at all, they'll very quickly catch on. But let's perhaps maintain at least some element of discretion, he says, staring holes in Malachi.
Malachi notices nothing.
An automatic natural one on perception checks.
Yep.
Hungover 1. Yeah, and shamed 2. It looks like fairly well constructed. It's obviously wooden, quite open at the front. It does appear to be a more substantial building. A couple of walls to the back. There's an awning bearing the shop's name with a painted kraken curling around the sides of the structure, and a sign from the awning that reads "Tattoos, Coin or Trade." You get this kind of ever-present smell of the sea, so common in the docks, mingling with the earthy smell of tattoo ink. I think there's been a misprint here, so it is actually in the docks area. If that makes sense.
Well, I am quite keen to get a tattoo, So maybe I'll lead with that and then maybe try and dig a little deeper.
Indeed, allow me to. I'll make the approach, and I'll see what we can do. Are there any designs here you're particularly interested in, or?
This skull looks pretty good.
Okay.
I'll have that.
Okay, bear with me. Good day, sir. Good day.
You notice it's a female kobold.
Well, that's fucked my make an impression roll.
Welcome to Kraken Ink's Tattoo. Can I help you at all?
Good day, ma'am. Please accept my apologies. The eyes clearly aren't what they used to be, and he chuckles and very theatrically picks up his glasses and puts them on.
How can I be of service? Are you here for a tattoo, or are you just browsing the wares?
A little bit of both. I'm here to browse and to take a look at the wonderful wares you have. But is my friend here is looking for a tattoo?
Yeah, I fancy this one here.
The skull one?
Yeah, skull one, yeah.
A fine choice, sir. A fine choice. Now, unfortunately, Arhan is busy tattooing another customer at the moment, but he won't just tattoo any old person either. You have to at least have a chat with him first. Make sure it's suitable. A tattoo has to have a certain meaning to a customer, not just one they've seen on a picture and go, I want that one.
I mean, it is kind of suitable for me. I am quite, level that kind of dirgy stuff, It's part of my act.
Are you, you're not the bard who plays the Dirge of Doom, are you?
You know me? Yes, they know me.
Well, I've heard of you, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Close enough. Right,
yeah. Do you want a song now?
No, thank you. No, busy. I'll leave you to browse for a bit.
Excuse
I'll let Arhan know you're here.
Miss.
Yes?
What about
Yes.
the harrow?
Pardon?
The harrow. Would he do a harrow design?
The harrow? Well, yes. And she pulls out a book and slides it across the counter, and inside are many designs, all influenced by the different harrow cards. There's several variations on them. These are our most popular ones, of course. Arhan, he likes getting the cards and making these designs. They are more expensive, and again, you won't tattoo anyone, of course, but you're welcome to browse, and I can get you booked in.
Well, why don't you tell him that we'd like the vision tattooed?
The vision? All right. And she flips to the page, and there are 5 or 6 different designs based around the vision card. Anything in particular, or?
Tell me, mate, are these popular? He sort of he moves his hand around sort of most of them, but he sort of lingers a little bit over the one that he saw on the body. Are any of these particularly popular? Do you do a lot of these, or is obviously we don't want to wander around like with matching tattoos with just anyone. People could make unfair assumptions.
You're in the Grand Bazaar. Everyone's got tattoos here. You can't have a unique one unless Arhan personally draws it for you.
Is there a design in the book for the vision that matches what the body had?
No, not that matches. Definitely not.
So you say we'll draw as one if we were wanting a particular one, a custom one, as it were.
That's right, yeah, that's right. For a fee, of course, for a fee.
So how much would it be if I wanted one?
Well, that's not up to me, that's up to Arhan, so I would need
Can
you
you
to
just
speak
go-
with him.
Yeah, where is he at the moment?
Well, he's in the room tattooing at the moment. Let me
You just knock him up and just see if he's all
knock
right.
him up. Well, I can go and ask him, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
All right, 1 second. You see her disappear and you hear a couple of voices in the room. And after a few minutes, she comes out. Arhan he's just finishing up on another tattoo. I can, if you fancy waiting for a couple of minutes, I'm sure he'll be right out.
Of course, yes, and thank you very much. Thank you very much for your trouble.
Welcome, the name's Nara. Ask for me if you need any help.
I absolutely will, Nara. And Lupin will sort of engage in sort of various bits of small talk and merchant later chat, as I would like to mechanically make an impression.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Make an impression. Let's just run through what that means.
With at least 1 minute of conversation, during which you engage in charismatic overtures, flattery, and other acts of goodwill, you seek to make a good impression on someone to make them temporarily agreeable. At the end of the conversation, attempt a diplomacy check against the will DC of one target, modified by any circumstances the GM sees fit, such as if you called them a man. Good impressions or bad impressions on a critical failure last for only the current social interaction unless the GM decides otherwise.
Okay. Let's go ahead and have that check then.
Do you want any additional modifiers to this?
No, I'll rule out the -2 from the good role playing that you've had.
Managed to save it, yeah. The glass has saved it.
Yeah.
Ooh, natural 16 for a 40.
That would be a critical success, and Nara's clearly thrilled at the conversation that you're engaging her with and comes helpful towards you.
Wonderful.
Miss, can I ask you something?
Yes, of course.
I am looking for someone who is versed in the art of magical tattoos. Can I also find this here?
Well, yes, our hands are very skilled tattooists. People come from all over Galarian to take tattoos. Look, I tell you what, come into the shop. You can take a seat in the waiting room here, and Arhan will be right out.
What's your dog's name?
Oh, that's Apple. Say hello, Apple.
I give Apple a fuss.
As you're walking past, you kind of peer into, it's like a curtain overhanging here, but it's slightly ajar, and you can see in there is a well-dressed male covered in tattoos who looks like this. Handsome chap. Dark hair, arms heavily tattooed, wearing some loose clothing. You hear him say, "Right then, Brenda, that will be 10 gold pieces, thank you." And you see this small halfling come out of the room. Why are you laughing?
I thought you were going to say ogre. The word Malachite.
Oh, that would have been good. A two-headed ogre comes out. Brenda, Glenda, lovely.
I was laughing because I wasn't expecting him to have that voice. He's very softly spoken, isn't he?
He is very.
I wasn't expecting him to be a halfling.
It's not a halfling.
Oh,
No,
the woman was a
the woman
halfling.
was a
Yeah.
halfling.
Oh, okay. I was.
Brenda was a
Yeah,
halfling.
okay.
You hear some kind of sounds of pots clinking and stuff being put away. And coming out of the curtain is Arhan. Says, welcome to Kraken's Inked Tattoo. My name's Arhan. It's a pleasure to meet you. Can I be of assistance at all? Nara, get us a drink, will you? Yes. Gets him one. It's not very often I get 4 people coming into my shop all at once.
It's a fine shop. Tell me, is all these designs your own?
Why, yes.
That's phenomenal. I'm extremely impressed.
He looks slightly embarrassed.
So Lupin will engage in various little bits of small talk because I would again like to to make an impression.
You can try, but Arhan visibly recoils from the small talk. So you can make it, but it's not something he's very keen on. He seems very shy.
Okay. So do you want a penalty here?
Yeah,
or?
-2 to
Yep,
the
that's
roll,
fine.
please.
I will just... I have an item that gives me a +2, so I will just switch that off.
Okay.
Cool. That's a natural 9, so that's 31 to make an impression.
Yeah, okay. It's not bad. I'll be honest, I don't have DCs for this, but based on the kind of reluctance, the fact you've made small talk but nothing else doesn't really seem to shift his mood. He's certainly not unfriendly though, just very shy. Says, I appreciate the small talk, of course, but I am a busy man, so if I can be helping you, please tell me what it is you need.
Of course. Let's get down to brass tacks. First things first, our friend here would like a tattoo, presumably something with a lot of skulls, barbed wire, probably some thorns or something. You know the type. Perhaps more pressingly,
Yes.
is we're trying to find the location of the Harrow Barrow. Any idea where he might be this week?
I've not seen Diral for some time. Who's asking for him, may I ask?
Oh, yes, please. Please accept my apologies. I've been around Absalom so long, I forget that not every face is a known face. I'm Lupin Malice, a trader of magical artifacts, and just out of nowhere a business card just appears in the hand, is handed over. And these are my friends. This is Wilhelm. He says, "Don't mind the bag of hair." This is Aaron. And that over there, chewing on... I don't know what he's chewing on. You might want to look at that. But that's Malachi.
Pleasure to meet you all. Pleasure. Look, I'll be honest. I've got customers booked in. I'm a very busy man, and I won't just tattoo anyone. I kind of have to at least have some kind of relationship with them. I won't just tattoo anyone because I don't need to.
So should we take you to dinner first, or how does this work?
Well, that is a good question, Kimone, because we are going to be going into the influence subsystem of Pathfinder 2E, where we will be rolling some checks and using conversation in order to increase the amount of influence you have with Arhan Benimaya. That is something we'll save for next time as the curtain comes down.
Conversation.
You've been listening to Describe Your Kill, The Death of Destiny. Find out more at describeyourkill.com. Thank you to Paizo, Michael Gelfi, Creator Chord, Sirenscape, Kevin McLeod, Foundry, and Sigil Services. Get all the links on our website. This podcast uses trademarks and or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. This podcast is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com.